There's a long list of intelligent, adaptable, and surprising animals out there, but cats occupy a category of their own, not because they're the smartest or the most obedient, but because they do things no other animal does in quite the same way. Behaviors that seem random, strange, or pointless, but that follow their own logic, built over millions of years of evolution. Today we're going to talk about 6 incredible things only cats do, and why each one reveals something profound about how this species actually works. 1. They always land on their feet, literally. The righting reflex in cats is one of the most studied phenomena in animal biology. When a cat falls, its body executes an automatic sequence of movements in fractions of a second. First the head aligns, then the spine rotates, and finally the paws position themselves to absorb the impact. This process happens so fast the human eye can barely follow it. What makes it even more impressive is that this reflex starts working when they're still kittens, and it's not learned. It's instinctive. No other domestic animal has this system so fully developed. It's as if a cat's body has a survival autopilot that kicks in regardless of the animal's own intentions. 2. They purr in a way no other animal can replicate. Other animals vocalize, sing, bark, roar, but a cat's purr is unique because it happens on both the inhale and the exhale, creating a continuous sound no other species can replicate in the same way. And the most fascinating part isn't the sound itself, it's the frequency. A domestic cat's purr vibrates between 25 and 150 hertz, a range researchers associate with accelerated bone and muscle healing. That means a cat carries inside its own body a self-healing mechanism. Some studies even suggest that regular exposure to this vibration can have positive effects on humans too, like lowering blood pressure and reducing stress. Cats don't purr just because they're happy, they purr because their body needs it. 3. They see what you can't. A cat's vision is built for one very specific purpose: detecting movement in low-light conditions. Their pupils can dilate to the point of filling almost the entire iris, capturing far more light than the human eye can process. On top of that, they have a reflective layer behind the retina called the tapetum lucidum, which amplifies available light and is exactly what makes their eyes glow in the dark. In near darkness, a cat sees with an efficiency that humans can't match even with basic technology. The trade-off is that their color vision is more limited than ours, but that never mattered much to a nocturnal predator. What matters is movement, shadow, and precision, and at that, they're extraordinary. 4. They communicate with slow blinks and understand when you do it back. This might sound simple, but it's one of the most fascinating forms of interspecies communication ever documented by science. When a cat looks at you and blinks slowly, it's signaling relaxation and trust. It's not a coincidence, it's not a random habit. Researchers at the University of Sussex conducted controlled studies and confirmed that cats respond positively to humans who mimic this slow blink pattern, and that they're even more likely to approach strangers who use this signal than people with a neutral expression. That's remarkable because it means there's a real nonverbal language operating between cats and humans, one that developed over centuries of coexistence and doesn't exist in quite the same way with any other species. 5. They mark the entire world with their body, including you. When a cat rubs its head against you, the couch, the corner of a wall, or any object in the house, it's not just being randomly affectionate, it's depositing pheromones from glands located on its cheeks, forehead, chin, and paws. Every surface marked this way gets added to the cat's personal olfactory map, what animal behaviorists call a scent map. For a cat, the entire world is read through the nose before it's read through the eyes. An environment that smells like itself is a safe environment. That's why, after a deep clean or a furniture rearrangement, your cat seems unsettled. Its map was erased and it needs to rewrite it from scratch. When a cat marks you, it's not saying you belong to me, it's saying you're part of the place where I feel safe. 6. They seem to ignore you when you call their name, but they're not ignoring you. Studies published by Japanese researchers show that cats recognize their own name when called. and can distinguish the sound of their name from similar words or the names of other cats. What they don't do is respond. And that distinction is everything. Dogs were selectively bred over millennia to respond to humans as part of a social hierarchy. Cats were not. They process, recognize, assess, and then decide whether reacting is worth it. That's not a lack of intelligence, and it's not indifference, it's autonomy. The cat understands perfectly well what's happening. It just doesn't accept the premise that it's supposed to respond. And in a way that says more about the independent nature of this species than any other behavior could. Cats aren't mysterious because they're hard to understand. They're mysterious because for centuries we've been trying to understand them using the same logic we use for dogs, and that never works. When you start looking at a cat for what it actually is, a solitary, highly adapted predator that chose to live alongside humans without giving up its own nature, each one of these behaviors starts to make sense. And what seems strange begins to seem, honestly, extraordinary. If any of this surprised you, consider subscribing to the channel. It's free and it genuinely helps. See you in the next one.